Yo, what is going on, guys? Flashverse here, and welcome back to another video on The Flash Season 6, and this will be my review for the new penultimate episode for this season, The Flash Season 6, Episode 18, otherwise titled, Pay the Piper. Before I do my review and slash breakdown, however, you guys don't forget to drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel so you are aware of more Arrowverse content coming your way. And obviously, spoiler alert, if you haven't caught up with The Flash and haven't watched this episode, you have been warned, because I will be going over some spoilers as always in my reviews. Now, also for my Star Wars fans out there, it will be greatly appreciated if you guys could subscribe to my Star Wars channel. It's called Star Wars Verse, and the channel's link is in the description down below. The reason I haven't uploaded much on this channel this week is because I've been uploading a lot on that channel. I'm trying to grow that while growing this as well, although my main channel is the Flashverse one and I enjoy making videos on that a lot more. It would still be greatly appreciated if you guys could subscribe to my Star Wars channel if you guys are Star Wars fans. Now, on to my review. So this episode kicks off with Joe, and he's sitting on his bed in some random area, as he is in witness protection, so we don't know where he is, but we do know he's in Central City. He is thinking about what Barry and the others said about Joe going into witness protection a couple of episodes ago. But we have Barry arriving with like a breach, and Joe turns around as he thinks it's someone else. But as soon as Joe sees Barry, like, he's in shock. He's like, yo, what happened? And then Barry just gives him a massive hug. But we see Barry tell Joe about Mirror Iris, and Joe is just, in shock, as he knew that Wally told him something about Iris acting suspicious. And also he talks about like how he suspected something wrong with Iris when like the sunshine thing was happening. So like Joe knew that she was acting different, but he was shocked that he didn't notice that this is like a mirror version. But we then have the reaction of Team Flash about this mirror stuff, and we see that Barry tells Team Flash about the mirror stuff, and he mentions that it's not just Iris, but it's also Chief Singh and Camilla. But Barry and Cisco do obviously have a mini argument, since like Barry doesn't have a plan, and like Barry starts like lashing out on Cisco. Cisco does actually suggest something, as they possibly vibrate like at the frequency to tap into the dimension, and Cisco is the only one available since Caitlin has her own thing to do. So Cisco says he's gonna go and work on it. But we then had Iris leaving a message to Barry, just in case Barry doesn't find her in the mirror world. But Iris starts having the things with Eva, and like she starts itching and like getting massive headaches. So she's really adapting to the mirror world now, and that would make sense as she was there for well over 5 weeks. But we then had Barry and Allegra talking to each other, and how Allegra mentions that now she's the head of the citizens since both Camilla and Iris are missing. But she also questions herself, a reporter, because like she wasn't able to know that there's something wrong with Camilla and Iris, even though they were in the same room together. But we then have Godspeed storm into Star Labs, and he attacks Barry straight after, as soon as he enters, which was not expected at all. And I am interested to see how he knows that Barry is the Flash. But we do see Godspeed's new sick abilities, like draining Barry's speed with those yellow lightning as well. It just gave me chills. And also that sonic thing from his chest, which was sick. And he did start talking as well, so I'm like, okay, fine, this may not be a clone. I thought that this was actually August Hart. But Barry does need help to defeat Godspeed due to him losing his speed, and Cisco mentions that they need someone who works with sonic type things. This is where Barry knows exactly who to turn to, which is Hartley Rathaway, aka Pied Piper. But we do get a flashback to how Pied Piper started hating the Flash, and we see Barry in his OG suit, and we see them be facing off each other, And Barry causes a very serious problem as he throws lightning at Pied Piper's right hand man. But how this happens was like the blast that right hand man shot on him collided with Barry's lightning, and then like it caused like Pied Piper's right hand man to acting differently. Now, many wouldn't have noticed, but there is actually a huge plot hole that they did over here, and I do actually hope that they resolve this. But we know Barry faces off Pied Piper in season one, and we do see that's the case as Barry is in his OG suit with the red emblem. But Barry learns how to throw lightning in season two, and Barry is in his season one suit with the red emblem. So I'm confused. I don't know how that is, but I just think it's just the writers making a mistake. But if they do actually have an explanation to this, I am very interested to see what it is. Now we do have this side story with Frost not wanting to see Caitlyn's mother, and Ralph is helping Frost out. Now this was supposed to be Danielle Panabaker's departure due to her pregnancy, but now she is well and she gave birth. So we may now possibly end up seeing these interactions with Caitlyn's mother when in real they were supposed to be off screen. But she does also mention that she will be gone for a while. But yeah, she will pretty much be gone for like a couple of months since season 7 is in a couple of months. And if this pandemic isn't, cured by then God knows when season 7 will be. Now we then see Barry enter Pied Piper's secret hideout, and Barry tries to, get his help. And to do that, Barry offers to help Roderick out, and Roderick is that right-hand man for Hartley Rathaway. And Barry needs Hartley's help, so this is why he offers to help Roderick out, so he could get through to him. But we do also see Hartley meet Nash Wells as well, and he does get brief explanation about what's happening between these Wellses and the multiverse and stuff, but then Barry just covers it up by saying it's Wells's twin, because they don't want to spend so much time talking about things that we already know. But we also have those interactions between Cisco and Hartley, and we do see the tension building up due to their jealousy relationship. But Hartley tells Barry that he knows that Barry was the Flash and Cisco is Vibe. But we do have that device which replicates Vibe's abilities, as Cisco tells Hartley that he gave up his powers. But we do then cut to Camilla and Iris finds Camilla, and Camilla attacks Iris straight away, as she thinks that that's the one who made her end up in the mirror world. But Iris does end up convincing Camilla that is Iris, as she mentioned some Chewbacca t-shirt about Cisco, and Camilla's the only one that can wear it. But we do also see Cicada's dagger, which was interesting, and Camilla is basically using that to find out what's happening in this mirror world. But we do have Iris starting to go crazy again due to her adapting to the mirror world. But now they do, they say that they need to find Chief Singh, so all three of them can get out. Now we do have Roderick in his chamber in the Star Labs, and Team Flash tried to use Allegra's powers and the things Cisco built to slow down his molecules, and obviously try to, fix him up, but it doesn't work, which is not a surprise at all because it is too early in the episode. But Godspeed does show up, and he asks for Barry's speed, otherwise he will cause chaos in Central City. But we do have Barry telling Hartley how he knows how Hartley must be feeling about Roderick, because he feels the same way about Iris. And this is because Hartley likes Roderick, and Barry does feel like the one to blame because he's the one that threw the lightning. But also Hartley does blame himself as well because he's the one that put Roderick in danger. But we have this great talk between Cecile and Cisco is regretting for getting rid of his powers because they're useful, they would be useful at this time, but yeah, he just got rid of them. And Cecile tells him that Camilla fell in love with the person that has that big, smart, massive brain and not that guy who has powers. And we do have Godspeed attacking Heights as he seeks for all the Godspeed clones. He kills them and steals their speed. He's pretty much like Zoom if you ask me, but yeah, a clone version and a lot worse than Zoom obviously. But he does also threaten the city, and like on like a news broadcast thing, he does say every 60 seconds a citizen will die if the Flash doesn't come and give up his speed. And we do see like Hartley hear this from like a distance, and he decides to help Barry. And we do have a Flash versus Godspeed, and it was just so sick. And we had Godspeed return the move which Barry did in episode 1 to one of the other Godspeed clones, which was so cool. But we then have Barry trying to run up a wall and, well, run up a building, and his speed glitches, but we do see him get saved by Pied Piper. Hartley and Barry then do have a plan to defeat Godspeed, and it is to do the same move that Barry did to Roderick. So we see Barry throw lightning and Hartley throw his sonic blast, and they both collide and hit Godspeed, and Godspeed falls on top of a car. Now we do have Godspeed bleeding, and we see him like, covered in electricity and stuff, like blue blood with electricity. So I thought that this could be the solution to the new Speed Force, but actually it's the solution to saving Roderick. And then we do find out that this is a clone version of Godspeed again and not the real August Hart, which is really disappointing because this clone thing is pretty annoying. But this does technically mean that the real Godspeed, or whoever is the one behind this infinite velocity, is a lot more overpowered than that Godspeed. So I am interested to see how that guy's powers are compared to those Godspeeds. But we do know that he's a clone because Barry tries to question him, and then he goes crazy like all the other clones. And we do have Ralph go to Frost again, and he gives her like that diploma. But to end off, we have Barry talking to Team Flash, and he's saying that they've lost so much this year and that Eva hasn't fought Team Flash all at once yet. So they will get Iris, they will get Sing back, they will get Camilla back and stop Eva. So this does pretty much confirm that Eva is the main villain it was supposed to be the main villain for this season. But Cisco does come up with a plan to get into the mirror world, and we find out that final piece to how they could do this is in Atlantis, which I thought was such a sick reference. Now, it would be awesome if we do get to see Atlantis, but I highly doubt it. I think it's going to be like something off screen, like the new Speed Force that they tried doing last episode. And to end off, we see Eva in some machine from Macolic Tech, and she says, "I'm coming for you, Joseph." We will probably see Eva kill Joseph Carver next episode. Overall, this episode was so good. It was so much fun and was just really great, and I will give it a 9.2 out of 10. And yeah guys, this is pretty much it for the video. If you guys have enjoyed the video, please give a like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next video.